Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to Knowledge Talks. A weekly edutainment program at Live specifically to share with you topics that contribute knowledge to the society. News, interviews with guests, tips, question and answer session, and yes, knowledge topics will be shared with you throughout the program, and the objective is to ensure valuable knowledge is shared. This program, ladies and gentlemen, is a weekly session that I will have with you every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. I'm your host Tariq Hilal Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Saleh, for an hour bringing you free knowledge at your doorstep on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Okay, stay tuned after the music break for the knowledge topic session today. Welcome back to Knowledge Talks, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Tariq Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Saleh, with you here live today on Oman FM 90.4. 3G, 3G plus, 4G, and now LTE in mobile technology. What's this all about? How does this impact me as a mobile user, and how does this benefit the business as a technology booster? Where are we in technology today? Where are we going tomorrow? What's the future like? How does the information and communication technology impact me positively, and what are the implications of the technology on me? Well, that in addition to more information and issues will be discussed today here at Oman Radio FM 90.4 during the Knowledge Talk session. My guest, ladies and gentlemen, is Mr. Wolfgang, who has over 20 years of experience in telecommunication industry. Mr. Wolfgang worked for management and Vodafone. He had leading roles in Vodafone Germany, in Vodafone Group, and in Vodafone Turkey. Wolfgang holds a Bachelor of Engineering Technology from University Münster in Germany and a Bachelor of Business Administration from University of Dortmund in Germany. Today, he is the Chief Technology Officer in Nauras. Mr. Wolfgang has published interesting articles on the newspapers, namely Intranet of Everything, What Does It Mean? LTE, How Can Business Use It? Technology Lingo, 4G versus 3G plus versus 3G, what does it all mean? He is a regular technology columnist, and yes, today he is our guest here at Knowledge Talks. Mr. Wolfgang, how are you doing today?
Very well. Thank you, Tariq, for inviting me.
In fact, thank you for joining us in our program today, Mr. Wolfgang.
Very welcome.
Your articles on Oman Observer are very interesting. I personally enjoy reading them, and I find them to be very valuable and interesting. The one particular article that I liked a lot was the Intranet of Everything. What does it mean?
Thank you for this feedback, Tariq. These articles were a little bit of an experiment where we thought it could be a good idea to try to describe things that are changing our lives every day in a wording that people can understand, that people can relate to, and that are they're focused on things that are affecting their day-to-day lives. And Internet of Everything was one of the topics where I found it could be helpful to explain how would a connected device, a connected consumable work in everybody's life. How would a milk bottle communicate to the owner, saying, okay, like I'm running out, so please drink me now, and otherwise I will go bad.
In fact, one statement that I like a lot, and in fact I jotted down here, is the fridge will tell me when my yogurt is expiring and milk is running out. I really like that. The question that I have is it happening today, and how does it really work or would work?
Okay. I have to admit, this is not actually the day-to-day experience that we have today. It's working very well exactly like this in the logistics industry. Okay. So the worldwide global transportation industry, where goods are shipped from one country to another, all these goods are tagged. They have chips in their boxes which tell them where they are, and the company who is shipping them knows exactly where this good is and what are the specifications of this good. So they know when they are expiring, when they are running out. So a dispatcher can make decisions in the course of the logistical process and redirect goods. This is I think a known and well established process, and I would expect that in some very few years we will see similar activities on the consumer side between a Carrefour and your home somewhere in Muscat.
Inshallah. So we hope to see that in Oman as well, inshallah. These chips that you're talking about, what kind of chips are they?
So there's basically they're called near field communication chips or RFID chips, which are stickers that are sitting on goods. These stickers can be read by respective readers. A typical example, for instance, is if you go to a shopping mall and buy something, and suddenly the alarm rings if you leave the shop, then the sticker had not been taken away from the good that you bought, and had been read by a theft device. So the principle is the same, and by that you can really identify pieces, goods, you can identify devices, and you can read the information through telecommunications.
Okay, that's really, really amazing. What is the potential of information technology and telecommunication for Oman, especially looking at the recent reports that have been published in the Global Information Technology Readiness?
Actually, I was very, very happy when I read earlier this week that this Global Information Technology Readiness Report was issued for 2014, and it said that Oman is on rank 40 in the world. Out of 148 countries, and this report is describing or measuring to some extent how a country is ready for the new technologies, how new technologies of information and communication are used in education, in the government, in the industries. And Oman is on a very, very good way.
Number 40.
It's number 40 and it's growing, so I think there's an upside potential to go even higher. And as what we see in our industry, there's a willingness of the government to go for this, to provide these services to more and more parts of the society, and to use it in more and more areas of the society. And I think it's very good for us as Navras to contribute to that.
Alhamdulillah, that's very, very good. The report, is it readily available? Can anyone get hold of the report?
Actually, good question. I've seen only the extracts of this, and then in the web you can find the summaries of the results. You can see that Oman is ahead of Russia, of India, of China even.
We're ahead.
Yeah, yes,
MashaAllah. Okay, that's really interesting to hear. And the report is available online.
Yes. I think you can see that as a public thing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in is 2460 2058. If you have any questions related to telecommunications, information technology in general, the number to call in is 2460 2058. Okay. SMS, MMS, and XMS. These are the basic services that are offered by mobile operators and are almost available in mobile devices today. The question I have, Mr. Wolfgang, is: are these gone today, or are they being used by the users or even businesses?
Actually, these services are used. Yes, there's a change in the usage of services. SMS is replaced to quite some extent by services like WhatsApp, for instance. And which is good. And but SMSs, for instance, are used by banks. By a lot of companies now to authorize. You use it if you need a bank transaction. You get your passwords sent by SMS. So there's a lot of use cases that are now growing even. And MMS is a service to send pictures, especially for feature phones. Not everybody in the country has the brand new smartphone at his hands. So if those people with a feature phone want to send this away, then they use MMS, and we have a reasonable big customer base using MMS.
Oh, that's good. So there are people who are using it. The thing is with the MMS, in my personal opinion, I think it's quite limited to some few bytes, like some 50 kilobyte or so. I'm not sure with the number. And looking at these players like the WhatsApp, Viber, and etc., you could send huge, big size of data without any limitation. Don't you feel, in your opinion, that the MMS might, if it's not dying today, might die tomorrow?
Yeah, for sure. I'm totally with it. And the customer experience is so much better. The devices that customers have at hand now are so much better than they were before, and the networks that providing the services can handle these kind of amounts much better than in the past. So I fully agree. These kind of early multimedia services will die, and the new service will take over completely.
Okay. Now, having mentioned that, do you see this a challenge for the telecommunication sectors in Oman, that since SMS and MMS are the basic services that bring money at the end of the day, and if these players, the OTT players, over-the-top players like Viber, WhatsApp, anything, they're eating that part. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. Isn't this a challenge and impacting the telecommunication sector?
It was a challenge as their appearance, together with the new smartphones, changed our lives dramatically.
Okay.
Now it's a big opportunity for all of us. They changed the way we offer services, correct? They impacted SMS and MMS, and at the same time they created a boom on our customer side.
Okay.
That the exciting customer experience the customers wanted to use, and they use data services from us. They love it, and by that we are getting happy. So we got more and more customers buying our services. They're using it, they're liking it. So in the end, it's a partnership. The over-the-top players are friends of ours, not enemies. And of course, there's a bit of a challenge of cost contribution because let me say fees that they are not paying. But this is something that over time will be sorted out. So at this stage, we're very happy with all the over-the-top players that are used on the Navas network.
Okay, so they basically are not paying the OTT players, the Viber, WhatsApp. They're not paying to capture your users right now.
This is absolutely true. The network infrastructure is growing massively. We are investing every year millions and millions to improve our services, to get our reach and to improve speeds and quality of service. This investment is carried by the network operators, not by the over-the-top players, which is a bit of a challenge. But bottom line is really that we can live together very well. And that we are enjoying even getting more and more services of this kind on board. Okay.
What's your feedback on Mark Zuckerberg taking over WhatsApp?
You see, there are really big companies evolving out of this space, and you see that by these kind of industry activities, that there's an interest of driving it forward. There's an interest of intelligent people to identify new areas of the business, to provide new services, and to bring these services to people worldwide. So we see that for us as a network operator, this is an opportunity that will open up even new ideas that we as an operator alone might not even be able to generate. But people like Mark Zuckerberg probably come up with fancy nice things that we all like.
Yeah, inshallah. 3G was the hot topic yesterday, and then an enhanced version, which is 3G Plus, came later. And after that was 4G and now LTE. If you could kindly explain the differences, looking at the evolution from 3G, or even if it's 2G, until today, where were we and where are we going, and what is the difference between them? Because as a normal user, I go out and I see there's a 3G, and then there's got a 4G, and then now LTE. I need to be paying more, or I need to be changing my devices. I really don't know. And I think if you could kindly share with us just a bit about it.
I think it's with the services that our customers would like to use, mainly if it's pictures, if it's colors, if it's video. These cannot be provided by the technologies of the 10 years or 20 years before. And also the devices at the time were just not able to do this. You have buttons and you do not have the right screens for this. So there is a technology upgrade also on the customer side, on the device side necessary. And the people are doing this. If you see in all the shopping malls in Oman, people are trading and buying these devices happily. On the other hand, I'm personally, as a technician, a bit sad that these abbreviations, these 3G, 4G, everything that you talked about, Tariq, are raised so high. Because in the end, it's what the customer is using. So if you want to watch a YouTube video, we want to download a music song, if you want to make a video call or something like this, then you should not care if it's a 3G or 4G or whatever technology is used. It should work. It should just work as the customer wants to use it. And I think this is a situation that we have achieved now, that there are no real limitations anymore. So if you want to listen to a music stream or to a radio station online, which I do regularly, also.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Fantastic applications for radio streaming here in Oman, and this works perfectly fine. And it works on 4G, it works on 3G without any limitation. So I personally, I'm not so much talking about which 3G, 4G, 3G plus people have at their homes, as long as they can use it seamlessly and the quality service is exciting for them.
Okay, that's really nice, really, and thank you very much for summing up the different abbreviation that is out there. Ladies and gentlemen, the number to call in is 24602058. We're taking a small break and we'll be back to you in few minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Tariq Al-Barwani along with our host and our DJ Saleh with you here live on Oman Radio FM 90.4. Our guest today is Mr. Wolfgang, and if you have any questions pertaining to information and communication technology and how it impacts your lives, the number to call in is 24602058. Wolfgang, one of the things that I'm sure most people would like to know is, now I know that there is a 3G network available and they've got 4G in some areas, LTE as well. How do I know whether my mobile is a 3G, 4G or LTE ready?
I think that there are several ways to figure this out. One way is, of course, to visit another store and ask the colleagues. They can tell you exactly what kind of service you can use with the phone that you are owning. Then you can also go to the settings of your phone, and there's usually a setting called network.
Okay.
And if you click on that network, it gives you a selection, and you can switch on and off 3G, or if the phone accepts 4G and can support it, and you also can switch on and off 4G. The reason for this is that the processing in the phone, the processor in the phone, needs to work harder if you want to use a 3G service or a 4G service, and this has a bit of an effect on the battery life. This is why the phones offer this selection. So if you go in the settings in the network submenu, you will find the selection for 3G and 4G. If you read 4G, then your phone is fine.
Okay. Do you recommend people to go for 4G phones, or is it too early now for people to go for devices?
I absolutely recommend that. 4G is it's called fourth generation. This is 4G, but it's the same like LTE. And LTE is long-term evolution, which is the standard that was developed for the newest radio technology, and it's the future. It's something that is providing much more capacity, and it's giving a fantastic customer experience. So if somebody is thinking about investing into a new phone with a 4G capable smartphone, the person is definitely on the safe side.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you go to your next store right now, if you're shopping for a new mobile phone, just make sure that you go for 4G if you want to get the best of the internet services.
Exactly, yes.
Now, 4G or LTE, this is, I believe, is offered in Oman.
Yes.
Where is it, when I say offered in Oman, is it offered everywhere in Oman, or is it certain places in Oman? And how can I know I'm using a 4G, I'm on a 4G or a 3G network?
Okay, if you own a 4G capable phone, a new smartphone, you will see all the time when you are in an area that is covered by a 4G base station, you will see it on the display. So in the top of the screen, you will see 4G written down.
It would say that.
Yes, of course, you will see this there. And we have 4G deployed in areas where there are high density of people, where people usually use data services in-house and in buildings, and where we know that our customers want to consume it in big amounts.
Okay.
And these are the priority areas where we have deployed already, and we are continuously extending our 4G coverage throughout the whole country. But as I said earlier on, we have, I would say, a nationwide 3G network, which is already providing, say, in all the areas where people are living in the bigger and middle-sized cities, a perfect data experience. So people not necessarily need to be bothered too much if there's 4G on the display. They just should use and enjoy it.
Oh, that's good. That's very, very good to hear. Tell me one thing. When 3G was introduced, video calling was the buzz. At least that's what I personally feel. It was, people saying 3G is out, and then it was not more about high-speed internet, but it was more about you can make calls, video calls. Is that still something happening? And if it's still happening, how can someone avail those services?
No, it's a good point. I remember very well when we introduced 3G in Germany in 2001, and it was very difficult at that time to explain to a customer why he or she should buy a 3G phone. And smartphones were not available. All these data services, all Facebook was just not there. It was just not existing. And the service that people could understand most easily was video calling, because people said, okay, this is the difference to voice calls. So many TV commercials were made with video calling and so on. But in practical terms, it was not really ready. The quality of the video was not so good, and also the phones were, as I said earlier on, it's by far not the quality that we have today. This has changed dramatically. Video call is still on, let me say, on a mobile phone, not so much widely used. You do not see so many video calls if people walk in the mall or something like this. But on the other hand, there are a lot of, let me say, analysis and investigation or theories that say in the future video communication as well as voice recognition, that you speak with your device rather than type some things in.
Amazing.
These are the two things that will be part of our future lives without thinking. And I'm totally convinced with the young generation that is now growing, with the kids that you see, in 5 to 10 years time, they will not just think about it. They will talk to their devices like we sometimes give a voice command to our car for switching on the radio or something like this. This kind of things of voice recognition rather than typing, and video calling will be much more a natural way of using the devices than it is today. It will come for sure.
Yeah. In fact, I very much can relate to that, looking at the big players like Apple introducing the Siri.
Exactly,
And Microsoft just recently, with their latest version of the Windows Phone 8.1, they introduced the Microsoft Cortana, where people can issue commands using voice recognition. That's going to
be exactly. Yes.
That's really going to be amazing. There's a lot of people speaking about these. Voice has been recently, when you make calls, changed, especially on your network. And the whether should I call it the buzzword or the jargon is HD voice, which is high definition. We know about high definition movies, high definition channels that are coming from the satellites. HD voice, what is it?
Yes, it's an amazing feature that is now available since not too long, and we decided some time ago to introduce it in our network. So we are the first operator in Oman who offers high definition voice, and the third operator only in the GCC region. We did it because we believe that there is a very good value in having a more clear I would say voice transmission. What it actually does is it filters out environmental noises, and the voice of the speaker is tuned up. So if you if you would talk with one of the new telephones together, you would really see, even in a noisy environment, you would hear my voice much clearer than with a normal phone. You really feel the difference, I would say.
In fact, I personally was surprised when I'm using my mobile phone and I speak with other people over the network, and it was very clear, and I was surprised. Is it because of the software that I updated? Nah. So it's basically because of the network that we built on it.
It is the network, and currently 250 different telephone models are supporting it. So you cannot use, it's not only the network alone, so you have to have one of the new smartphones.
Okay.
These have a capability to record or transmit your voice in this way and filter out the environmental noises. And so if both parties have this phone, which we see now in more and more cases because of course people buying the new phones, then you have a really fantastic voice quality.
Okay, now with this HD voice, of course I understand you said you need the device apart from the network that has to be compatible and can utilize the service. Do I need to pay money for it to use the service?
No, it's all for free. It's a service by Navras for our customers.
Great. So the HD voice is, guys, if you notice that your voice is clear, then that's thanks to the mobile operator offering the service. We're gonna take a quick break before we continue our session. The number to call in is 24602058. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host Tariq Al-Barwani, along with our studio engineer DJ Saleh, with you here live today on Oman FM 90.4. Our topic today is the impact of information and communication technology and the mobile industry to your life. If you have any questions, please call in on 24602058. And we've got just 20 minutes to go. So if the questions, that is the time to call in, 24602058. Wolfgang, one of the things that I think is quite interesting to ask probably is the health implication of using mobile phones. I know there's a number of studies that were done about the health implication, especially the radiation. What can you say about that, and if it's true about the radiation and the impact that it has on people, and how can one avoid it? Your thoughts really about the subject.
Yeah, very well. Actually, yes, this topic is part of our industry since long years, and I remember that in the late 90s, when the mobile communication really became public or very widely spread in Europe, there were many questions raised about that, and many studies were undertaken to figure out if this is really something that is safely to be used, or are there some things to consider. And up to now, there are no negative implications that could be figured out. There's public knowledge. You can look this up in the World Health Organization, WHO. They have undertaken so many studies, even over 15 years, long duration studies, studies with young people, with old people, and all says that this is absolutely safe technology to be used. I have a very good team in the field that makes sure that the base station that we are building are fulfilling all the norms and the standards that we have to consider. We are using only certified technology. So this technology is widely tested and absolutely safe to be used. And actually we do tests to see where we are, and you can really see 100 times, 1,000 times less than what we could use in terms of field strength, in terms of electromagnetic waves that are allowed. So all our technologies that we're using on the base station, but also the devices that the customers are using, are totally safe to be used. Health is a big issue in mobile communication in terms of changing our lives. I think you showed me you have wristbands, and my wife has a wristband checking how many steps she makes. People are uploading their training schedules on the internet. Using with a wireless device, synchronizing their step counter with a smartphone and then sending it to Facebook.
Oh, that's nice.
These are really things that are already happening here in Oman every day, and we will see on the health side more and more very fantastic and exciting developments. So there will be, and there are already now, possibilities to monitor heart rate, sugar levels, or for diabetes treatment to doctors. So in the future we will see many more solutions and opportunities for people to have an easier life by avoiding visitors to doctors, because they can send over mobile network their basic data, and the doctor can assess that and can see if things are in a good shape. So these things are happening. A lot for private training purposes, but also for serious treatments. And mobile communication and information technology as such will change and make our lives much easier and more worth to live in the future.
And very small too. The world has become very small too, thanks to information and communication technology. Now, one of the questions that I asked at the beginning of the program, and I just want to touch it back again to a little bit specific, is the OTT players. When I say OTT players, is the over-the-top, of course, and we're talking about something like the WhatsApp, WeChat, Viber, etc. Now, I know they are not having their own network and they are using your networks to get into your customers. Now, aren't these? Now we know that they're impacting, and you said that they're impacting us, in fact, positively because you're partnering with them. But what are you doing about it, and what? Is there anything we expect to see in the future on as far as the OTT players are concerned?
What I'm really seeing is that the customers are asking for it. I'm using them, and all my friends are using them, and there is an enormous amount of development going on. So if you just see like what was available 4 or 5 years ago, what is available now, if you just think into the future, the next 3, 4, 5 years ahead of us, we will see solutions that we cannot even think of today that will help private people to have more fun in their life, but there will be applications that will help business people to do a better business. And I know in Oman since last year, since the Sultan announced, there's a big small medium enterprise initiative underway, and there is a very, very good and exciting developments there to create job opportunities and create new businesses in the country. And I'm sure that with the help of over-the-top players, with the help of this incredible development resource and enthusiasm that these players are having, we will see applications that will benefit many people in this country, and we will have all networks available here that can support that. So I'm really seeing developments here that are very positive, and will lead to many more use cases on our network.
Well, that's very interesting and amazing. In fact, we look forward to these interesting development. So it's more of an opportunity, but not a challenge.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that.
Some people have got these iPhones that have been coming up in the market, and then they're saying that. Tariq, I got my iPhone from US, or some of them say I got it from UK. These are the two that I know. Maybe there's other places as well. And then they say, but in Oman, I can't use the 4G. Although the iPhone 5 that I have is called an iPhone 4G. It has a 4G, but I can't use the service. What can you say about that?
Yes. The spectrum, so the radio frequencies, are a very scarce resource. They are not available for everything that people might want to do in each country. So there are a lot of users like broadcast, TV stations, amateur radio stations that use frequencies. And each country has a specific range of frequencies that is available for smartphones. And the suppliers of smartphones like Apple, they have to embed in their phones transmitters that can work with the different frequencies that are available in the countries. So Apple provides solutions for the US market, or for the Asian market, or for Africa, and those cannot necessarily use all the spectrum that is available anywhere in the world. So if you import sometimes a phone from some other country, it might not support the spectrum we have available here in Oman. Usually it does. But in some few cases it can happen. To be on the safe side is to use the suppliers here in the country, like we, for instance, and buy the smartphones there. You get the right recommendation and the right advice from the store personnel, from the store staff, and from the different dealers, and then you're on the safe side. Usually it works. But in particular cases, if you have a very exotic device, then it might not necessarily have the frequencies on board that you need here.
Fantastic advice, ladies and gentlemen. So that is your answer. Getting a device. Sometimes it's risky getting a device not from Oman and then trying to use it on the network that is available in Oman due to the frequencies. So the best thing to do, as Mr. Wolfgang has clearly advised, is probably visit the store and ask them. And just go in and ask the store, I'm getting this device and this is the frequency that it's using. Will it work on your network or not? And that would, put you less risk of getting something that won't work on the network, and make the best out of it. The options today to use internet home includes WiMAX, 3G, 4G, ADSL, and something that I've read about is FTTH, which is basically the fiber to the houses. What is the difference between these? Are they offered today? And which one would you recommend and why? This
is a very wide area, Tariq. The classical internet access is DSL. This is a telephone line, copper cable that is usually at many houses, and that can be upgraded to an internet access point, which is DSL. The service that is comparable to that is our home broadband service that you mentioned, WiMAX.
Yeah.
WiMAX is a radio technology, but it's basically providing a service like DSL. The difference of the service that you can get from us is that you do not need to have a cable at your house. You can buy a box in one of our stores and put it on power, and then it will connect to the network wirelessly, and you can surf with your laptop. The advantage of our service is that you do not need to have a cable to your house, which is not everywhere available in Oman. Basically the same as I said, and then DSL is the service. If you consider fiber to the home, glass fiber technology, this is definitely something which is the highway, which can provide much higher capacity than a cable, or than what our WiMAX wireless technology can provide. So for let me say very professional use cases where you have like many users connected to this one point, or you want to use extremely high download speeds for your services, then in the long run a fiber cable is the selection, is the choice. Okay. And I know that here in Oman there are many activities underway to provide more fiber connectivity to houses. We are also working on that.
Okay.
And so we will see that in some few years we will have a wide fiber network on top of DSL or wireless networks that are also be available.
That's
so
amazing.
I think there's a good coverage of services already now, and in the future my recommendation would be, if you really are a heavy user, to go for a fiber cable.
Okay, the fiber to home service that you'll be offering. Looking at 4 factors. One is speed, and then the cost, what I'll be paying money, and the setup, ease of setting up, and finally the coverage. I'll look at the coverage later. Looking at the 3 parts, which would be the faster? Would it with the current services we have and the coverage?
I think the most easy way to set this the service up is a wireless connection, like we have it with our WiMAX service.
Okay.
This is there and will be there for long. We are even upgrading our network these weeks and months. So we will provide more speed, which is absolutely hassle-free. You just plug it in, connect, and can use what you want to do. You can video stream and do the downloads that you want to do. This is hassle-free. The route to fiber will take longer.
Okay.
And it's not something that I see widely available in all areas of Oman, especially if we come to smaller and middle-sized cities in the near future. Near future means like 1, 2, 3, 4 years.
Yeah.
So hassle-free is, I think, the services that are available now, and I think they provide a very good customer experience.
Definitely, I think I like the idea of just having a device, going home, putting it into a service and using. I think that's very, very interesting. The question that I would have is, if I'm a customer, some wannabe customer, and I want to know whether my area has, since this is a wireless service, has a coverage or not, what can I do?
Okay. You can check our webpage.
Okay.
And if you want to be really exactly sure, our dealers and our stores are advising. They can check exactly where your house is, where your address is, and then recommend the best service.
And what do I need to provide to them?
Just the address.
Just to the house.
Yeah, it's very,
that's amazing. That's very interesting and amazing. Mr. Wolfgang, thank you very much for joining us today on Oman FM and 90.4 to share about the future of mobile technology and the impact it has on our lives. I'm sure our listeners have learned. I've learned too as well. And I would like to take this opportunity to wish you the very best and success in all you do, inshallah.
Thank you very much, Tariq.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You found a radio station that plays all your favorite songs together on one station. Radio Sultan of Oman 90.4. Feel the power.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of our program for this week. I hope you all had an intriguing time with us. Let us catch up again next week on Tuesday, same time from 5:30 p.m. on a knowledge session. I'm Tariq Al-Barwani along with our studio engineer DJ Saleh, wishing you all a happy and a pleasant week. Ma'as salama.